lecture we will learn about the conic sections as a circle and a parabola, and we will discuss about important topics of circle and parabola. So let us take a short review that which topics we discussed about in a further lecture about a circle and parabola. Firstly, we discuss about the equation of a circle, and in this topic we will derive the standard and general equation of a circle. We discuss about equation of a circle passing through 3 points. Circle passing 2 points and center on a given line, and find the equation in that particular case. Now we will discuss the circle passing 2 points with tangent line. Nextly, we discuss about the circle passing 2 points and touching a line. After this, we will discuss that equation of tangent and normal, how to find the length of our tangent. In a parabola topic, we will discuss the equation of a parabola for all quadrants. Secondly, we will discuss how to graph parabola, as in this topic we will learn how to graph parabola and find focus elements of a parabola when a vertex is at origin. How to find a focus and directrix of a parabola when a vertex is not at origin, and discuss all of these topics one by one. Equation of a circle, and also discuss that what is the standard form equation of a circle and a general form of equation of a circle. But before going this, we must know about that what is a circle. So check out the definition of a circle, that the set of all points in a plane that are equally distant from a fixed point called a circle. So the fixed point in that case is called a center of a circle. As we draw a circle by using this definition, if we have a set of the points in a plane that are equally distant from a fixed point is called a circle, and this point is called a center of this circle. The distance from a center of a circle to any point on the circle is called a radius. For example, if we choose this is a point in a circle, and the distance between the center of the circle and this particular point on a circle is called a radius, and the full length, that a line passing through the center of the circle which meets the points of the circle, is called a diameter. That is this length. This is a radius, and if we double this length is called a diameter. The whole this length is a diameter, and the distance around a circle is called the circumference of a circle. Suppose if we have a circle and this is a plane. Here is the center of the circle which of coordinates h and k, and here is a point on a circle which is x, y, and a distance from the center of the circle to any point of the circle is called a radius of the circle. So to find the equation of the circle, basically we need a formula of a distance between 2 points. Says that for memorize the distance formula, if we have a point which is suppose a point which is A, which is a coordinate x1, y1, and a point B which is x2, y2, then what the distance formula says? It says that the distance between these 2 points is calculated as x2 minus x1 with square. The sign is plus, and then y2 minus y1 with square, and the whole term is in the under root. So basically this is a formula of distance between 2 points. Is a distance between 2 points is r, and using this formula x minus h square plus y minus k square, and the whole term is in the under root. So for taking a square on both sides, to get rid of this under root sign, this vertical sign, so we have a square, and this is the remaining term. So basically this is called a standard form of equation of a circle with center h and k and radius is r. So if in the case the center is 0, means hk is 0, as we denote the center with hk and radius is r. So if center is 0, then we can write as r square, which is equals to x square plus y square. Basically this is a equation of a unit circle when the center is 0 and radius is r. Now if we have a center and our radius is given. Means if we have our center is -3 and 5 and radius which is equals to 7, we have to calculate the equation of our circle with this given information. So as in the case this is h and this is k, so put the values in the standard form of the equation. So we have x minus h means x minus, and the value of h is -3, and taking square, the sign is plus, and y minus, and the value of k is 5, and taking square, which is equals to square of the radius, which is this form. For we compute this factor to simplify, plus y minus 5 square, which is equals to 49. It will be x square plus 9 plus 6x to square plus y square plus 25 minus 10y, which is equals to 49. We basically apply a formula here, which is a square plus b square plus 2ab. X square plus y square plus 6x minus 10y, and to compute all the values take 49 on the left hand side, then it will be -15, which is equals to 0. So we reach an equation. So we will be asked that the equation belongs to which curve, means a circle, parabola or a hyperbola curve. So how can we able to know it? So in order to know that, we have a general form of equation. It says that the x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equals to 0. As to compare these two equations, this is x square, this is y square, as the 2g is 6 and 2f is -10, and where is a constant? Here we can write is g, f and c are all constant. So this is a general form of equation of a circle. So now we have to find a radius and center of this general form of equation. For this, just to compute the factors of which involves x, means x square plus 2gx and separated, plus y square plus 2fy and a constant term to take on the other side, so it will be -c. Now we make this a complete square. So by a completing square method, what it says that as it is x square, so as we use again our formula a plus b square, which is equals a square plus b square plus 2ab. So here is x square and 2, and x is given. So what the value that we require to complete this factor, which is g. So add the square of this factor and subtract this factor as well. So basically this is a completing square method, and the factor which is plus, now complete square with this factor, so it will be y square plus 2fy plus f square, and similarly to subtract this term for balance this equation, which is equals to minus. As you see that this factor and this factor makes a complete square, as x plus g square, and take this minus g square on the other side, so it will be plus g square, and these three factors make a square, which is y plus f square, and make this negative f square on the other side, so it will be positive f square. Now to compute this, we also write these factors as we can write minus g square plus y minus f with term of square, as minus is plus, and after this we reach again this step, so which is equals to minus c plus g square plus f square. So compare this equation with a standard form of the equation, which is x minus h square plus y minus k square, which is equals to r square. If we suppose this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, then to compare first and second equation, so we have to compute that what is the center and what is the radius of a general form of equation, as the radius is minus g minus f, and the radius, as to compare these two equations, r square, which is equals to minus c plus g square plus f square, but we have to get rid of our square. So if we take square root on both sides, so we
are left with plus g square plus f square under root means, which is minus c plus g square plus f square with under. So here is the equation of the form of our general form of equation. Then we have to compute our center and the radius of this equation. First of all, the general form of equation is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equals to 0. So here we compute it. Here you see that the x square and y square, the coefficient is 1. So make this factor as divide this whole equation with 5. So we are left, if we suppose this is first equation, so divide first equation with 5. So we are left with x square plus y square plus 24 over 5x plus 36 over 5y plus 10 over 5, which is equals to 2, which is equals to 0. Now to compare these two equations and to compute the value of a factor g and a factor of f. So x square plus y square. So in the formula the value of 2 and here is x. So we find the value of a term which will give this factor. If we write 12 over 5, so then if we multiply with back this factor plus the 2 is in the formula and y. So we have to compute the value of f by using this. So if we write 18 over 5 plus 2, which is equals to 0. The value of g, which is equals to 12 over 5, and the value of f, which is 18 over 5, and the value of c, which is equals to 2. We know about what is the center and what is the radius as we discussed here. Center, which is equals to minus g and minus f. So the center of this equation is minus 12 over 5 and minus 18 over 5. Now we have to compute our radius, which is equals to r. The value of c is 2, so it will be minus 2 plus g square, which will be square of this term. So it will be 144 over 25. The sign is plus and the square of the factor f, which is 324 over 25, and the whole term is in under root. So after solving this, it will be 814 under root and divided by 25, which is equals to 418 under root over 5. So it will be the radius equation of a circle when we are given certain conditions. So in this lecture, the given condition is that we have our 3 points and we have to find the equation of a circle. Before we are going to move this article, the first question is that what is the non-collinear points? They are the points which do not lie on a same line. For example, if we have these 3 points, then it is a collinear points because it lie on a same line. Collinear points. So we say that these 3 points are collinear. If we have our points in that situation, then these 4 points are not lie on our same line, then these points are called our non-collinear points. So first of all, to understand this concept, so here is a question that we are given with our 3 non-collinear points and we have to require to find the equation. So first of all, we plot on a graph that these 3 points are collinear or not to form a circle. Then we find the equation of a circle. So as if we write this form, this is called the x coordinate and this is a y coordinate. This is called the x-axis, this is called the y-axis, and this point that we meet is called the origin. And this is a positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis. In a similar way, this is the positive y-axis and this is negative y-axis. So we plot it. First of all, this is x coordinate and y coordinate. So in x it is a 4 and in 5. So here is our point A, which is 4, 5. And minus 4, minus 3. Minus 4, minus 3 means the point is someone here, which is B. Minus 4, minus 3, here is the point. And the point C is 8 minus 3 means the point is 8. And here is minus 3. So here these are 3 points and these are non-collinear points. So we make a circle on it by drawing a curve on it. Basically we form a circle. So for this, write the general equation of a circle. X square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equal to 0, where g, f and c are the constants. As these 3 points lie on a circle that we draw here, then it must satisfy this general equation of a circle. So for this, put these 3 points one by one in this equation, and our aim is just to calculate the value of g, f and c, and then put back in this equation to get the final equation of a circle by using these 3 points. We say that this equation is equation A. So if put the point A, which is 4, 5 in A equation, then solve it. So the value of x is 4 and the value of y, which is 5. So it will be 4 square plus 5 square plus 2g is unknown, and the value of x, which is 4, plus 2f, and the value of y, which is 5, plus c is again unknown, which is equals to 0. Now to solve this. So it will be 16 plus 25 plus 8g plus 10f plus c, which is equals to 0. So we write it as 8g plus 10f plus c and add these two numbers, so it will be 41, which is equals to 0. And say this equation is equation 1. If we put the point B, which is this point, minus 4, minus 3 in A equation, there the value of x is minus 4 square plus the value of y, which is minus 3 square, plus 2g and x, which is minus 4 plus 2f, and it will be minus 3 plus c, which is equals to 0. Now to solve this. So it will be 4, 4, 16 plus 9, because whenever we take a negative sign of square, so it always positive, minus 8g minus 6f plus c, which is equals to 0. And if we further simplify, minus 8g minus 6f plus c and plus 25, which is equals to 0, and we say that this is equation 2. We put the last point, which is 8 minus 3 in equation A, which is this equation. So the value of x is 8 in this case, 8 square plus minus 3 square plus 2gx, which is 8 plus 2fy, and the y is minus 3 plus c, which is equals to 0. So it will be 64 plus 9 plus 16g minus 6f plus c, which is equals to 0. 16g minus 6f plus c, and to add these two numbers, it will be 73, which is equals to 0. And we said that this is equation 3. Basically, we use these 3 equations to find the values of f, g and c, and after this to put the values in equation A to find the final equation of a circle. If we add first and second equation, then we can eliminate g. So if we add first and second, then first we write as which is equals to 0, and which is minus 8g minus 6f plus c plus 25, which is equals to 0. And we add these equations. So these are cancelled out and we are left with 4f plus 2c plus 66, which is equals to 0. We divide this equation with 2 and we get this term and call this equation, which is equals to 4. Now we use these two equations and get this equation. Now to use second and third equation, we eliminate the g, then we can solve further. So as there is a 16g and it will be a 8g, so multiply second equation by 2. Minus 16g minus 12f plus 2c plus 50, which is equals to 0. If we call it is a fifth equation, add fifth and third equation, 16g minus 6f plus c plus 73, which is equals to 0. and minus 12f plus 2c plus 50 which is equals to 0, and we add operation minus 18f plus 3c plus 123 which is equals to 0, and call this equation with equation B. Now we have these two final equations with elimination of a factor g. If we eliminate the factor c in this, then we find the value of f. If we multiply this, 3 multiply by fourth equation, 6f plus 3c plus 99 which is equals to 0, called a equation C. We subtract B and C equation. 24f, and this will be cancelled out as a minus sign, the all signs will be changed, so it will be minus 24 which is equal to 0. If we solve this, so we have 24f which is equals to 24, and the value of first unknown term f which is 1. Put f is equals to 1 in C equation. 6, 1 plus 3c plus 99 which is equals to 0. 3c plus 105 which is equals to 0. If we take on the other side, so it will be minus 105, and c which is equals to, if we divide this by 3, then it will be minus 35. So in this way we can calculate the value of c. So now put these two values f and c in any equation to find the value of g. We put these two values in third equation, 16g minus 6, and the value of f which is 1, minus 35 plus 73 which is equals to 0. So if we solve this, so it will be 16g minus 41 plus 73 which is equals to 0, and 16g plus 32 which is equals to 0, and if we take on the other side, so 16g is equals to minus 32, and the value of g which we calculate is minus 2. So if we put the all values in equation A, x square plus y square plus 2g, the value of g is minus 2x plus 2, the value of f is 1 which is y, and the value of c which is minus 35 is equals to 0. So if we solve it, so y square minus 4x plus 2y minus 35 which is equals to 0. So it's a final equation of a circle. Find the equation of a circle having the join of our 2 points which is a and b, and the coordinates of a point A is x1, y1, and in a similar way the coordinates of B is x2 and y2 as our diameter. So for this, first of all, draw the given information. We have to need to find the equation of a circle, and circle having the two joins of A and B. For example, if we have our 2 points A and our point B as our diameter of a circle. If this line is our diameter of a circle, then its mean here is a center of a circle, and this is called a radius of a circle, because if it is a diameter, then half of the diameter is called a radius of a circle. Means if we take this length to all the points around these 2 points is to form a circle around 2 points. So if we draw a circle on it, because these 2 points, the point A and B, are the diameter of a circle. So basically the circle is a collection of points with a distance of the radius. So as here we are conditioned that the line AB, as the line AB is, and secondly the point C, which is we suppose a point C is, if we suppose here is our point which is our point P having coordinates x and y. So if we join the point A and P with a line or a chord. So here is the concept about a chord, that a line passing through a circle and join the 2 points of a circle is called a chord. For example, if we have a circle, so the line passing through and join these 2 points is called a chord. For example, if here this is a point and it is also a point, then the join of these 2 points is also called a chord. And for example, if we have a point here and a point here, to join these 2 points by a line is called a chord. But always remember that when a line passing through the center of the circle and meet the 2 points of a circle is called a diameter, not a chord. So here is the difference between a chord and a diameter. We join a point A and P by a line or a chord, and in a similar way we join a point P and B. Now here is a question in our mind that what we do next. Basically we use our result that we know that if we join both of the ends of a diameter to any point of a circle, then both the chords or lines are perpendicular to each other, that there is a theorem. This fact means the angle between them is 90 degree, means the line AP and the line BP is perpendicular to each other. So what we have to find it, if these two lines are perpendicular, then we know the condition of the perpendicularity of two lines is that, as we discussed detailedly in further lecture, but just for that, if we have a slope, both the slopes, if we multiply both of these slopes, it will be -1. So we use the fact. So here we use the slope of this line, which is AP, and we require to find the slope of a point BP. So we find the slope which says that y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 in a similar way. So the slope of the BP says y minus y2 divided by x minus x2 by using the formula of the slope. These two lines are perpendicular to each other. So by using the condition of the perpendicularity of two lines, that if we say that the slope of this line is m1 and the slope of our point BP is m2, then means here we also add it as if we suppose this is m1 and this is m2. Multiply these two slopes, which is equals to -1. So we basically use this fact. Just put the values of this condition of m1 and m2. So we have a value of m1, which is y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 that we already computed, multiply with the slope of another line, which is y minus y2 divided by x minus x2, which is equals to -1. We write is y1 multiply y minus y2 and divided by x minus x1 multiply x minus x2, which is equals to -1. So here we multiply a cross multiplication. So after this we can write it as y minus y1 multiply y minus y2 and multiply this vector with -1, x minus x1 multiply x minus x2. So we can write it as x minus x1 multiply x minus x2. The sign is plus because this term is plus already in this side. So y minus y1 multiply y minus y2, which is equals to 0. Just move this whole factor on this side, the final condition of a circle. So if we have to find the equation of a circle when a circle passing through a points which is A and B and a tangent line is given at a point B. So let's start the solution. So here we plot the above information as this is a x-axis and this is a y-axis. This is a positive side of x-axis and this is a negative side of x-axis. In a similar way, this is a positive side of y-axis and this is negative, and this is the origin at midpoint. So as the first point, which is A, is 5, 1, as we already discussed, it is the x coordinate and it is the y coordinate. So in x coordinate the value is 5 and in y coordinate the value is positive 1. Here is a point which is A, means 5, 1, and the other point which is given is 3 minus 4, means in x-axis the value is 3 and in y-axis the value is basically here is a point which is here. So it will be a 3 minus 4. So by using this, if we draw a circle on it, so if we probably draw on it around these 2 points so as we find this circle. And the other thing which is given, that a tangent line is given at a point B, means here is a tangent line at a point, here is a point B and the equation is given as well, which is 2x minus y minus 10, which is equals to 0. As a tangent line is a line in a plane of a circle that touches a circle only a one point, then this line is called a tangent line. So we basically use the general equation of circle: x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equals to 0, where g, f and c are the constants, and basically we have to calculate the value of f, g and c. Then we have to find the equation of a circle of that condition, and we say that this equation is a equation because we use in further. Since the point A and B which lie on a circle, then it means that both of the points must satisfy the general equation of a circle, as there is a value of x and y in a similar way as in the B case. So we put both of these values in the equation A one by one. We put the point A in the equation A. So it is the value of x, so it means 5 square plus 1 square plus 2g. G is unknown, and the value of x, which is 5, plus 2f, the value of y, which is 1 in this case, plus c, which is equal to 0. If we take a square, it will be a 25 plus 1 plus 10g plus 2f plus c, which is equal to 0. So if we solve it and we write as, so 10g plus 2f plus c, which is plus 26, which is equals to 0. So here is our first equation. Now put the other point in a equation. So it will be 3 square plus minus 4 square plus 2g3 plus 2f minus 4 plus c, which is equals to 0. If we solve it, it will be a 9 plus 16 plus 6g minus 8f plus c, which is equal to 0. So if we write as, it will be a 6g minus 8f plus c plus 25, which is equals to 0, and it is our second equation. So now we use the information about a tangent line at a point B, because there is 3 unknown, which is g, f and c, and we have a 2 equations. So we use this information and find the other equation to solve it. As a given tangent line touches at a point B of a circle, so if we draw a perpendicular line through this point and this tangent line that touches a point B, if we draw a perpendicular line here, then it passes through the center of a circle, and here is something a center of a circle. So to find the equation of this perpendicular line that we draw here, because we know about this point and the equation of this tangent line. For this, we find the slope of this perpendicular line that we draw, and we know the slope of this tangent line by this given equation. So as this line is normal, as this perpendicular line that we draw to this point is called a normal. Since tangent line which is given, which is 2x minus y minus 10, which is equals to 0, a point B which is 3 minus 4. To find the equation of a line which is perpendicular to the tangent means normal. So we have to find the equation of the normal. As if the point B lies on this tangent, then definitely it lie on the normal. So first find the slope of a given tangent line. So the given tangent line is 2x minus y minus 10, which is equals to 0. So here we find the y-intercept form. So take a y on this side. So it will be y, which is equals to 2x minus 10. So here is a slope. This is a slope. So slope of tangent line is 2. So now we have to find the slope of a normal line, means this perpendicular line. So as we know that, so the slope is a reciprocal and with a negative sign, because here we use our logic, as we say that if two lines are perpendicular, then the product of the slope which is equals to -1. If we suppose that the slope of a tangent line is m1, and means the slope of this line is m1 and the slope of this line is m2. So the m1 is known, which is 2, and we have to calculate this, which is equals to -1. So m2, the slope of a normal line, which is this perpendicular line, is -1/2, which is this. So here we use this logic. We have to find the equation of this line, means this perpendicular line, this normal line that we draw here. So for this equation of normal line, which is we use a formula that y minus y1, which is equals to m. M is a slope, and here we call the slope of this line is m2, so I will write m2, and x minus x1. So as this line passes through this B point, so we put the values, so it will be -4, and the slope we will find of a normal line, which is -1/2 and x minus 3. So for solving this, it will be y plus 4, which is equals to -1/2 x minus 3. So if we multiply this, so it will be y plus 4, which is equals to -1 x minus 3. So if we multiply this, so it will be 2y plus 8, which is equals to -x and plus 3. So if we take this factor on this side, so it will be x3 plus 2y plus 8, which is equals to 0. So it will be x plus 2y, and here x minus 3. So it will be plus 2y plus 5, which is equals to 0. So here is the equation. As this perpendicular line is normal to this point, so it must passes through the center of a circle, and the center of the general equation of a circle, as we discuss about as -g minus f, is a center. So we replace the value of x and y with -g and -f. So we can say that replace x, y with -g minus f, then this equation becomes -g plus 2 with -f and plus 5, which is equals to 0. It will be -g minus 2f plus 5, which is equals to 0, and here is our third equation. So we find these three equations, and to solve this simultaneously, we have to find the values of f, g and c. So now solve these three equations to find the unknown terms. If we remove a c term by taking these two equations, then we solve with the third equation. So if subtract first and second equation, means if we have 10g plus 2f plus c plus 26, which is equals to 0, and subtract second equation, which is 6g minus 8f plus c plus 25, which is equals to 0. If we take subtraction operation, then all the sign will be changed. So it will be 4g plus 10f, and this c can be cancelled out, and plus 1, which is equals to 0. So now if we say that this is fourth equation, if we multiply third equation by 4, then we get, if we multiply this equation with 4, then it will be -4g minus 8f and plus 20, which is equals to 0. Now add these two equations, means add these two equations. So if we add, it will be 4g plus 10f plus 1, which is equals to 0. Then it will be cancelled out, and it will be positive 2f plus 21, which is equals to 0, means we have to find the value of f, which is equals to -21 divided by 2. So if we put this value in third equation, put f in third equation, so we find the value of g, which is -g plus minus, and the value is minus 21 divided by 2 plus 5, which is equal to 0. So if we solve it, it will be minus g plus 21 plus 5, which is equals to 0, then g, which is equals to 26. So as we find these two values, and after this we put both of the values in any equation, then we find the value of c. Values of f and g in first equation, then it will be 10. The value of g is 26 plus 2. The value of f is minus 21 divided by 2 plus c plus 26, which is equal to 0. If we solve it, it will be 260 minus 21 plus c plus 26, which is equals to 0, minus 265. So here we find the value of unknown, which is f, g and c. Now after this, put these all values in the general equation of a circle, which is, put all these values in equation A. So it will be x square plus y square plus 2. What's the value of g? Which is 26x plus 2f. The value of f, which is minus 21 divided by 2 y, plus the value of c, which is minus 265, which is equals to 0. So if we solve it, x square plus y square plus 52x minus 21y and minus 265, which is equals to 0. So it is a required. We have to find the equation of a circle when a circle passing through the point which is A and B and touching a line, and the equation of the line is given. First of all, we have to plot this on a graph. As this is the x-axis, this is origin, this is a positive side, so we draw the first point is 1, 2, means this is a y-axis. So here is a point 1 and 2, means there is a point A which is 1, 2, and the other point which is 3, 4, means here is a point 4 and 3, and a point is here which is a point B, 3 into 4. So we have these two points that we are given the equation of a line. So for plotting the equation of the line on a graph, first of all we have to find the y-intercept. If this is a given equation of a line y, which is equals to 3 minus 3x. If we take our 2 points on it, then we can plot it on a graph. So if we take that x which is equals to 0, then y which is equals to 3, means we have to find our first point which is 0, 3. And if we put y is equals to 0 in this y-intercept form, then it will be 0 which is equals to 3 minus 3x. Then we have to solve it. Then 3x which is equals to 3 and x is equals to 1. So after this we have to compute these 2 points and we have to plot these 2 points on a graph. We have our first point which is 0, 3, means here is a point 0 and in y-axis there is a point 3, and the other point which is 1, 0, means here is a point. So if these 2 points are given, then we can easily draw a line of this given equation by finding these 2 points. So we extend it and join it as, so this is a line. Equation is 3x plus y minus 3 is equals to 0. So there are two possibilities, that if these two are points, then if I meet it and satisfy this condition, then I have a circle in this way. And there is a one possibility of this circle, and the other possibility of this circle, that I have a circle of a meeting point with this form. There is something here. So as there is two possibilities that exist to satisfy the given condition, that a circle passing through these 2 points and touching a line, we have to suppose that there is a center of a circle, and suppose the center of this circle is something here and the center of this circle is something here. So if we consider this possibility of this circle, So here is a center which is O and with center H and K. Here is a point B and here is a point A, which are given things. So the distance between the center of a circle to the any point on a circle is a radius. So the distance between the point which is OB is radius, and in a similar way the distance between the center of a circle to this point is radius, and these two distances are equal. Let center HK is the center of required circle. So we suppose that this is the center of a circle OA. The distance of this line segment, which is equals to OB, which is OB, and which is equals to the radius. So to find the distance of a line segment which is equals to OA by using the distance formula, which says that h minus 1 square plus k minus 2 square under root in radical sign, which is equals to the distance of a line segment which is OB by using the formula h minus 3 square plus k minus 4 square, and the whole term is in a radical sign. So if we take a square on both sides, then this radical sign can be cancelled out with this square, which is equals to h minus 3 square plus k minus 4 square. To solve it, here we apply our formula, which is h square minus 2h plus 1, and opening this square it will be k square plus 4 minus 4k, and to opening this square it will be h square minus 6h plus 9, and it will be k square plus 16 minus 8k. These terms are cancelled out, so take the remaining terms on this side, so it will be 2h plus 1 plus 4 minus 4k, it will be plus 6h minus 9 minus 16 plus 8k, which is equals to 0. 4h plus it will be 4k and minus 20, which is equals to 0. Now to solving this, if we divide the whole equation with 4, then we are left with h plus k minus 5, which is equals to 0. Now it's seen some simpler form, so we find the value of h to taking this factor on this side. So after this, if we find a value of k, then take the other factors on this side, so it will be 5 minus h on this side. So here is a value of k. As we already said that the distance of a line segment OA and the line segment of OB, which is equals to the radius. This means that both of these the distances are equal. Then if we put the value of k in any one of this, then it will doesn't affect the answer. So I will put this value of k in this factor. As you can put in this factor also, it doesn't affect the answer. So it will be h minus 1 square plus the value of k is 5 minus h minus 2 square with a radical sign this, which is equals to h minus 1 square plus it will be 3 minus h square with radical sign. So basically here we conclude our radius that we further use in steps, which is r we said. So we find the radius and the value of k. In further steps we have to find the value of h. So in the next step, now the length of perpendicular from HK means center, which now becomes this because the value of k we will find. So that is, we say that the value of k, which is 5 minus h, to the line which is given, which is 3x plus y minus 3, which is equals to 0, is equals to radius of a circle. As what's the meaning of this line and what we do in the next step to As what we said that now the length of a perpendicular from a center, suppose that we consider the center of this possible circle which is a center O, and if we draw a perpendicular line with this given line of a circle which is this line, and this is also a radius of a circle because the distance between a point and a line is a radius. Now to find the distance between a point and a line, basically this line touch with this line which is given is called M. So basically we have to find the distance between a point O and a line at a point M, OM, which is equals to, so for finding the distance between a point and a line, it will be, the given equation is 3x plus y minus 3 with magnitude divided by the square of the coefficients of x and y, means 3 square plus the coefficient of y is 1 square with radical sign. So if we solve it, here x is h and y is 5 minus h. So we just put the values here, which is 3, and in this case x is h, so I will put here, and the y is 5 minus h and minus 3 with magnitude divided by, if we square it then it will be a 9 plus 1 with a radical sign. So if I solve it, it will be 3h plus 5 minus h minus 3 with magnitude with divided by under root 10, 2h and 5 minus 3 which is positive 2 with magnitude divided by under root 10. So basically what is this value? This is our distance between a point and a line, which is already said that which is equals to the radius. So we can write as 2h plus 2 with magnitude divided by under root 10, and this is equals to the radius, and we already calculate the radius in this way. So this is a radius, so we can write it as h minus 1 square plus 3 minus h square with a under root sign. So to solve this, we take a square on both sides to get rid of this radical sign. So if I take a square on both sides, then I will also take this side as well, and h minus 1 square plus 3 minus h square with a radical sign and taking a square on it. So if I write it as this, and this radical sign can be cancelled out with this square, so it will be a 10. In a similar way, we are left with this square plus 3 minus h square. Now we have to open the square, which are as a formula a plus b square, which is equals to a square b square plus 2ab, and in a similar way a minus b square, which is equals to a square plus b square minus 2ab. We basically use these two formula over here. So it will be 4h square plus 8h plus 4 divided by 10, and after opening these two squares, so it will be 8 square minus 2h plus 1, 8 square plus 9 minus 6h, 10. So after cross multiplication, we can left with plus 4, which is equals to 10, and multiply with whole of this factor 8 square minus 2h plus 1 plus h square plus 9 minus 6h. Write it as in a similar way and multiply 10 with this whole all sides. So it will be 10h square minus 20h plus 10 plus 10h square plus 90 and minus 60h. 4h square plus 8h plus 4, and we solve it as, it will be 10 plus 10h square, so it will be 20h square, and with the term of h it will be 60 and 20, so it will be minus 80h and it will be plus 100. 20h square minus 80h plus 100 minus 4h square minus 8h minus 4, which is equals to 0. 16h square, 80 and minus 8 will be minus 88h plus 100 minus 4, it will be plus 96, which is equals to 0. Here we find a quadratic equation, and to solve this we have to find the value of h, as I will use a quadratic formula method. What's the quadratic formula method? Says that if we have to find the value of h in term of this equation, so it will be minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac, and this term is in under root divided by 2a. So the question is that what is a, b and c? Basically this is a, this factor is b, and this factor is c. H, which is equals to minus and minus b, which is equals to minus 88 plus minus b square, means minus 88 square minus 4a, which is 16, and the value of c, which is 96, and this term is in a vertical sign, and divide the whole term with a 2a, which is 2 into 16. Positive 88 plus minus 7744 minus, to multiply these terms it will be 6144, and the term is in the under root divided by, we will get a 32. Now to further solve it, it will be 88 plus minus 1600 with radical sign divided by 32. So we are left with plus minus 40 divided by 32. Here we are two possibilities, so we solve it as h, which is equals to 88 plus 40 divided by 32, and the other possibility is 88 minus 40 divided by 32. 128 divided by 32, which is equals to 4. In that case it will be 48 divided by 32, so it will be a decimal fraction, that is 1.5. So we have to find the value of h. So we have two values of h, means we have two circles of, in this case. We have to conclude these two values of h. If we put h, which is equals to 4, then k will be 5 minus 4, then k, which is equals to 1. And if we put h is equals to 1.5, then k is equals to 5 minus 1.5, then k will be 3.5. Centers of circles, which is 4, 1 and 1.5, 3.5. Now we have to find the radius of these two circles. If 4, 1 is center, then what will be the radius? So we put just values in this form. So we said r 4 minus 1 square, 3 minus 4 square with the under root sign. Then it will be 3 square plus minus 1 square with under root sign, then it will be 9 plus 1 under root, which is equals to 10. As we said, this is the radius 1. And if we have a center which is 1.5 and 3.5, then radius is, which is we said r2, then 1.5 minus 1 square plus 3 minus 1.5 square with a radical sign, 0.5 square plus 1.5 square with a under root sign. Then to taking a square, it will be 0.25 plus 2.25 with radical sign, and it will be 2.5 under root. Equations of the circles that we find the centers and radius. So the standard form of equation of a circle with centers h and k, then we can say that x minus h square plus y minus k square, which is equals to r square. So basically we use this. So the first equation of a circle with center this and radius this, so we just put the value centers and radius in this. X minus h will be 4, so x minus 4 plus y minus 1 square, which is equals to r square. In this case the radius is under root 10. So if we taking a square, then it will be a positive 10. So it will be this. And the second equation of a circle with center this. So it will be x minus 1.5 square plus y minus 3.5 square, which is equals to r square 2.5. So these two equations of a circle, how to derive the equation of a tangent and normal to a circle at a point P and having a coordinates x1 and y1, and in that case we will take the equation of a circle which is a general equation of a circle, and in the second objective we will take an example. But before going to derive the equation of tangent and normal, we must know about it what is the tangent and what is the normal. So what is the tangent? A tangent to a curve, and we take a curve as a circle, is a line that touches the curve at only one point, then this line is called a tangent. And secondly, what is the normal? A normal to a curve, and the curve take is a circle, is a line that is perpendicular to the tangent to the curves. So for this, if we understand these two concepts by a diagram, then if we have a circle and here is a center of a circle, then what the tangent says that a tangent to the curve, which is a circle, is the line that touches the curve at only one point. So if there is a tangent line which touches only one point of a circle, then this line is called a tangent. So if this is a tangent line, and if I draw a perpendicular line to this tangent, then this line is called a normal. Now we move to derive the equation of tangent and normal. We have to find the equation of tangent and normal to the circle of equation this and at a point this. Point is a basically point of tangent, and we have to find the slope of tangent. And if we draw a rough diagram as that, if we have a circle like that, then this is a tangent and this is a normal. If I write it as this is tangent and this line is normal, so basically we have to find the equation of these two lines. Always remember one thing, that slope of the curve, which is a circle, is basically the slope of the tangent at a point B, and here is a point of the tangent which is px1 y1. As we find out the slope of the circle or a curve is the derivative of that circle or equation of a circle, which was equation of a circle which is given. So the equation of circle is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equals to 0. Here it is given. So we have to find the slope of the circle, so we must find out the derivative of this equation. So if we take our derivative with respect x, 2x plus 2y, and our derivative of y with respect x plus 2g, and the derivative of x is 1, and plus 2f, the derivative of y dy over dx, and the derivative of any constant term is 0. So we are left with this term. If we take the common dy over dx in these two factors, so it will be 2y plus 2f, and taking common of this factor dy over dx and move these two factors on this side, so it will be minus 2x minus 2g. If we take a common 2, then the remaining term is f y plus f with dy over dx, and in a similar way we take a common minus 2, then it will be x plus g. So basically our aim is to find this factor, so dy over dx, which is equals to minus 2 and x plus g, and divide the factor with this term, it will be y plus f. So after cancelling the 2, we are remaining with x plus g If this is the slope of a tangent, now we have to find the slope of the tangent at a point P. So this is the slope of tangent, and at a point which is this, so it will be minus x is replaced with x1 plus g divided by y is replaced with y1 plus f. Point formula says that y minus y1, which is equals to m x minus x1. Here the x1 and y1 are points which are given, and m is the slope that we find here at these 2 points. So now put these values in this formula. Y minus y1, because we are a point which is y1, so we replace with y1 by y1, and the slope is minus x1 plus g divided by y1 plus f. We just put the values and x minus x1. Now we have to solve it to multiply this vector on both sides. So we are left with y1 plus f, and our factor is y minus y1, and here minus x1 plus g multiply with x minus x1. To multiply these two factors, so it will be y1 plus fy, then 1 and y1 minus fy1, and if we multiply this taking minus outside and multiply these two factors, it will be x1x minus x1 x1, and it will be plus gx and minus gx1. We just multiply these two factors here, and we can write it as yy1 plus fy plus y1 square minus fy1, and here we open the minus sign to hold these terms, so it will change their signs as, and it will be a plus x1 square minus gx plus gx1. So yy1 plus fy, and to move these two factors on this side and take these factors on this side, so it will be x1 and plus gx, and here as here is a negative and it will again a negative, so we can write it as x1 square plus y1 square plus y1f plus x1g. So if we add a factor, so if we add this on both sides, then we can write it as yy1 plus fy plus xx1 plus gx, and write this term as x1g plus y1f plus c, which is equals to, add these terms in this side also, so it will be x1 square plus y1 square plus y1f plus x1g plus x1g plus y1f plus c, then y1 plus xx1, and if we take a common term which is f, then we can write it as plus fy plus y1, and if we take a factor g on these two terms, then we can write as x plus x1 plus c, which is equals to, as this factor is 0, as I write it as x1 square plus y1 square plus 2x1g plus 2y1f plus c, because we are the given equation of a circle which is a given thing, and this term is equals to 0, and x1 and y1 is a point which lie on a circle which is this equation. So using the fact this whole term is 0, so we finally conclude that xx1 plus yy1 plus fy plus y1 plus gx plus x1 plus c, which is equals to 0. Basically this is a required equation of the tangent. Now to find the equation of the normal, we use a point slope formula as in this case, but in this case the slope is changed. In the normal case, the slope of normal which is equals to -1 divided by slope of tangent. So how is it possible that if we have a circle which is this, and this is our tangent line, and this is our normal line which is perpendicular to this tangent line, and if we suppose that the slope of this tangent line, which is we already find out, is m1, and the slope of this normal line is m2, then we know that the product of these two slopes is equals to -1. So we can write it as m1 multiply m2, which is equals to -1. Slope of the normal we have to find it. So it will be m2, which is equals to -1 divided by m1. So basically we use this logic over here. So we can write it as -1 divided by, what is the slope of the tangent? We already find out, which is this. So it will be minus x1 plus g, and divide the whole factor with y1 plus f. So we can write it as y1 plus f divided by x1 plus g. So we find the slope. Now it's time to put this slope and our point, which is x1 y1 into point slope formula. Y minus y1, which is equals to the slope of, in a normal case it will be y1 plus f divided by x1 plus g, and here is x minus x1. So if multiply this factor on both sides, so we will get y minus y1 into x1 plus g, which is equals to y1 plus f, and multiply with x minus x1, and this is the final equation. So this is the required equation of a normal. So here is an example that the equation of a circle is given, and we have to find the equation of a tangent and normal at a point 1 10 by 3. So to follow these steps, first of all we have to find the slope. And how to find the slope? Just to take a derivative with respect to x of a given equation. Taking derivative with respect to x on both sides with this equation, so it will be 2x plus 3 into 2y, and again derivative of y with respect to x, minus 13 dy over dx, and sorry we skip this term, so it will be plus 5, and the constant and the derivative of any constant is 0. So it will be 0 and equals to 0. Now we have to simplify this factor. It will be 6x plus 6y dy over dx minus 13 dy divided by dx plus 5, which is equal to 0. And what we do in the next step, just to take common of dy over dx in these two terms, so it will be 6y minus 13 with dy over dx, which is equals to, if we take both these terms on other side, so it will be minus, we take common as, so 6x plus 5. Now we have to compute this factor. So if we divide it on both sides, so it will be like that, 6y minus 13. So basically we have to find the slope of tangent. Now to find the slope of the tangent at a point, which is a point is given, so we have to find now dy over dx at a point 1 10 over 3, which is equals to, so now just put the value of x and y in this form, so we will get 6 and 1 plus 5, and divided by 6, 10 divided by 3 minus 13. So if we simplify this factor, it will be 6 plus 5, and divided by it will be 20 minus 13, so minus 11 over 7. So we have to find point slope formula. So what the point slope formula says, that y minus y1, which is equals to m x minus x1, as we already discussed that these two are the points which are given, and this is our slope that we find it. So as we find the slope, which is minus 11 over 7, and our point which is x1 y1 is equals to 110 over 3. So we just put these two values in this equation. So it will be y minus 10 divided by 3, which is equals to, what is the slope? Minus 11 over 7 and x minus 1. So now just to simplify this factor, so it will be 7y minus 70 divided by 3 and it will be minus 11x minus 1. So in the next step it will be 21y minus 70, which is equals to minus 33x minus 1, and in further step it will be 21y minus 70 plus 33x minus 33, which is equals to 0. So if we solve it, the left equation is 21y plus 33x minus 103, which is equals to 0, and this is the equation of tangent. Now to find the equation of the normal, so what we said that we already discussed how to find the slope of the normal. So the slope of normal that we already discussed is that minus 1 divided by the slope of the tangent, which is equals to minus 11 divided by 7. So it will be 7 divided by 11. Now it's time to just put this value in the point slope formula. So it will be y minus 10 divided by 3, which is equals to, now the slope is 7 by 11 and it will be x minus 1. Now just to multiply these factors, it will be 11y minus 110 divided by 3, which is equals to 7x minus 1. 33y minus 110, which is equals to 21x minus 1. And to solve further, 33y minus 110, which is equals to 21x minus 21. Now to solve it, it will be 33y minus 21x minus 110 plus 21, which is equals to 0. And after this, it will be minus 21x minus 89, which is equals to 0. And this is a final equation. Circle, which is this circle. And here is a center of a circle. And let we say that if we have a point P, which is the external point, means not on the circle, and having coordinates x1 and y1. So if we write it as, and we have to take the tangents on this circle. First tangent that touches our point is here, and this is the first possibility of tangent, and the other one is that if a line that touches a circle at only one point and meet this point, as there is two possibility of a tangent, that a point P that is outside the circle. So as we know that the two distinct tangents can be drawn to a circle from an external point, only these two. So now we suppose that these two tangents touches to a circle at a point A and a point B. So basically the distance of AP is called a tangential distance, and the length AP and BP are called the length of tangents or tangential length. So we have to require to find these lengths. Take our general equation of a circle. And what is the general equation of a circle? Which is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equals to 0. So basically this is a general equation of this circle, and we already discussed about the radius and center of this general equation of a circle, that we write it as with this equation with center which is equals to minus g minus f, that we already find these centers and radius in previous videos. So the radius which is we supposed at r, which is g square plus f square minus c with this radical sign. So if we have to find this tangential distance, the distance between the center and any point on a circle is called a radius. So if I draw these 2 points, this point is on a circle and here is the center. So we say that this line is radius, that we already find it. So we have to find this length. If I draw the center, which is we called a C, and join the point P by a line, then we have to take this form. The line which is perpendicular to the tangent is normal, as this line, which is a tangent line, and this is a normal line, is perpendicular to each other, means the angle between them is 90 degree. We have a right angle triangle. If we suppose on this side, as just for the clarification, this is a right angle that we found here, and here is a point A, this is a point C, and here is a point P. This is a base, this is a perpendicular, and this is a hypotenuse. So we use a Pythagoras theorem which says that the length of the side which is base square plus the length of the perpendicular square, which is equals to the length of the hypotenuse square, right? As CP distance square hypotenuse square, which is equals to CA square plus AP distance of square. So we have to take it AP square, which is equals to CP square, and if we take this term on the other side, it will be CA square. So if I suppose that this is my first equation, and now we have to find the values of this and then put in the first equation. So the first term is to calculate the CP distance, means to find the distance between these 2 points. So by distance formula, what it says that CP means x1 minus, and in a point C is minus G, with whole term is in square, the sign is plus, then in y coordinates will be y1 minus, and then here is minus f, and taking a square with a radical sign. Now to solve it, which is equals to x1 plus G square plus y1 plus f square with radical sign. So finally we have to find the distance between these 2 points, but we have to find the square of this. So we taking a square on both sides, then x1 plus G square plus y1 plus f square. The second thing we just to find it is CA, and the CA is the radius. That if this is a circle, then its radius will be this. So we say that it is a radius, and what is the radius? It will be G square plus f square minus C with radical sign. But you see, we have to find the square of this term as well. So if I take a square on both sides, then this radical sign can also remove it. So we are left with this term minus C. So in the next step, we have to put the values of CP square and CA square in first equation. So we find the length of this tangent. So AP square, which is equals to x1 plus G square plus y1 plus f square. Then the sign is minus. And the value of CA square, which is this, G square plus f square minus C. So if this is a square, and if we remove this and just to find the distance of AP, then if we take a square root on both sides, then we are left with x1 plus G square plus y1 plus f square, and if we open the minus sign in whole the bracket, then it will be minus f square plus C, and just take a square root on both sides. So which is equals to, if we open this square by using a formula which is a plus b square, which is equals to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So we use x1 square plus G square plus 2gx1. Now opening this square, it will be y1 square plus f square plus 2fy1. and this remaining term we will write it as minus g square minus f square plus c, with whole term is in a radical sign. So if you notice that these two terms can be cancelled out with each other, in a similar way these two are also cancelled out. So we are left with x1 square plus y1 square plus 2gx1 plus 2fy1 plus c with a radical sign, and basically this is our distance of AP, is a final distance that we require a distance of AP, and this is called a tangential distance or a length of the tangent to a circle. So we can write it as, so if you see that we already say that these two are the possibilities of the tangent to this external point. So we find it that, and in a similar way if we draw a perpendicular line to this point, then it will be this. Now we have to a triangle which is PCB, and for using this same terminology and these steps you have to find the length of this tangent as well, just to follow the steps that we perform to find the tangential distance of AP, because we know that the length of the tangents drawn from an external point to the circle is equal. So here is an example that we have to find the length of a tangent from a point which is a given point to a circle, and the equation of a circle is also given. If we have a circle which is this, and the equation of this circle right now is this given equation, and the point which is an external point is placed is something here which is -5 and 10. So if our tangent is drawn on a circle touches a circle at only one point, is this a point A, which is our supposed point. So we basically find the length of these two, the distance between AP. So as basically this is the implementation example of this formula, that this is the journal length of the tangent. In a journal equation of a circle, the coefficients of x square and y square must be 1. So the first step is just to divide the whole equation with 5. So we are left with x square plus y square plus 14 divided by 5x plus 12 divided by 5y minus 10 divided by 5, which is equals to 0. So now we simplify it if it is possible for simplification, as x plus 12 divided by 5y, and it will be -2, which is equals to 0. So as you see the formula, we have to require to find the value of x1 and y1, as these points is x1 and y1. And the second thing what we require, that the value of g, the value of f, and the value of c. So we find these values by using the comparison of this equation by journal equation of a circle. So journal equation, which is equals to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c, which is equals to 0. If we write it is in this form, the formula is 2 and the value of g will be 1410. Then if we cancel out this, then it will be 14 over 5. Then we will back to this value plus 2, and we take the value of f, which is 12 divided by 10 and -2, which is equals to 0. So if now we have to compare these two equations, so what we find it, g, which is equals to 14 divided by 10, the value of f, which is 12 divided by 10, and the value of c, which is -2. So now it's time to just put the values in the journal length of the tangent that we already find it. We say that the length AP length, or we generally write which is equals to length in other words. x1 is -5 square plus y1 square, which is 10. So 10 square plus 2, the value of g is 14 divided by 10 x1. The value of x1 is -5. Now plus 2, the value of f, which is equals to 12 divided by 10, and the value of y1, which is again 10, and plus c, the value of c is -2, and the whole term is in a radical sign. 25 plus it will be 100, and it will be -14, and it will be, because this 10 is cancelled out with this, so it will be 4 to 24 and -2. And to solve all of this, we have, this is our final answer, and this is parabola is a set of all points in plane that are equidistant from a fixed line. So what is the equidistance? Means equal distance from a fixed line, and a fixed point in a plane. So basically this is a definition of a parabola, and now we will sketch it. It is a fixed line, and here is a fixed point. So the fixed line is called the directrix, and a fixed point is called a focus, that we represented by F. Parabola is a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed line and a fixed point. Suppose that if I take, here is a point P. If you see that the distance between the point to a focus and a directrix is equal, and if I suppose another point which is something here, and the third obvious point, that is a midpoint between a focus and a directrix, which is something here. So if I join all these points, then it forms a shape of a U-type shape, which is a parabola shape. So in this way the parabola is formed. This is parabola. So here is the important thing, that a fixed point means a focus does not lie on a fixed line, which is directrix. The next thing is that if the straight line passing through this focus and perpendicular to this directrix is called the axis, means this is called a axis of a parabola, and parabola is symmetric to this axis, and the parabola where meets the axis, this line is axis, and where the parabola meets this axis or cut this axis is called a vertex. So now to draw the x-axis and y-axis, so for this let us take the axis of our parabola, which is this line is the x-axis. Means if we said that the axis of the parabola is x-axis, and take the origin at a vertex, 0, 0 as a vertex, so the y-axis is something here that we draw it. Means here this line is called a y-axis, and here is another thing, which is as the distance between the vertex and focus, and the distance between the vertex and this directrix line is always same. As we use in further step this information into finding the equation of a parabola. What is the lattice rectum of parabola? First of all, check out the definition. That is a chord passing through focus of a parabola called a focal chord, and a focal chord which is perpendicular to the axis or the major axis of a parabola is called a lattice rectum. So if I draw it here, that this is, suppose that this is a y-axis and this is x-axis, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So if here we draw a parabola and here is a vertex V. So what is a lattice rectum? First of all, check out that what is a focal chord. That is a chord passing through the focus of parabola called a focal chord. Means if here is a focus, and what is a chord means a straight line. If a straight line passing through this focus is called a focal chord, and a focal chord which is perpendicular to the major axis of a parabola and both the ends on a curve is called a lattice rectum. So now it's time to move on to the main objective of this video, that to find the equation of a parabola, that we have to find the standard equation all for parabolas. Now we are discussing that to derive the equation of a parabola when a focus on a positive side of the x-axis. So we already discussed about a parabola in a very detailed way, so we just have to derive the equation that this straight line, and this is supposed at a y-axis, and here is a axis, and we say that this is a x-axis is here. So if I draw a parabola, that I always said that these formulas is only valid when a vertex is origin, which is 0, 0. So this is a vertex point. If here is a focus of this parabola, if we suppose that here is a point which is a point P having coordinates x and y, then we always remember that the distance of this line which is equals to the distance of this line, means the distance of PF which is equals to this distance. If we suppose that here is a point L, so we have that distance of PF which is equals to distance of PL. But firstly we have to find the coordinates of a point F which is a focus and a L. If we suppose that the distance of a vertex and a focus is A, suppose that, then we already discussed that the distance of vertex and focus is same as that the distance of vertex and this directrix line. So in x-axis the x coordinate of this focus point is A, and in y-axis here is a 0. Now it's time to find the coordinates of this point, as the distance is same in magnitude but it is on the other side of the axis. So it will be x is equals to minus A, this directrix line. So the x coordinate is minus A. So what will be the y coordinate of this point? And the distance between the PL is same, so the y coordinate is same as the point of P having coordinate y. So the y coordinate of this point, which is we suppose that a point L, is also y. So here is what is our distance formula said. If we have a point A which is x1 and y1, and a point B which having a points which is x2, y2, then distance of AB which is x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square, and the whole term is in a radical sign. This is called our distance formula between the 2 points. A minus x square, if we apply this formula over here, so A minus x plus 0 minus y square, and the whole term is in the radical, which is equals to, now to find the distance between these 2 points, so it will be minus A minus x square plus y minus y square, and the whole term is in a under root. So in the next step, as the distance is always positive, but I just do the steps for no confusion, just to follow these steps. So if I common the minus sign, then it will be x minus a square, and plus it will be y minus 0 square if I taking common minus, and within the under root it will be, if I take minus again, so x plus a and square, and this will be a cancel out, so it doesn't affect on it. So we are left with this. So this minus is square, so we are left with x minus a square plus y minus 0 square with this radical sign, which is equals to x plus a square and with this radical. If you notice that this square can be cancelled out with this radical, so we are left with x minus a square plus y square with this radical, which is equals to x plus a. So if we get rid of this radical, then we must take a square on both sides. So after squaring x minus a square plus y square, as this radical sign can be cancelled out with a square, and here is a square on this side. So now we opening the squares on both sides, so it will be x square plus a square minus 2ax plus y square, which is equals to x square plus a square plus 2ax. If you see that these terms can be cancelled out in a similar way, these two terms are cancelled out. Y square minus 2ax, which is equals to 2ax, which implies that yax 2ax plus 2ax. So in the next step, finally we derive the equation of a parabola, that is the standard equation of a parabola, when the focus on a positive side of the x-axis and the parabola is open in the right side. So the focus is on the negative side, means here is a parabola, and suppose that here is our directrix and here is a focus point, and here is a point P having coordinates x and y. Then we know that the distance of PF is equals to the distance of a point through a directrix. Suppose that here is a point A. Now we find the coordinates of a focus and a coordinates of this point. Here is the origin, which is 0, 0, and we suppose that as there is on a negative side of the x-axis, so here is our distance, which is a same in magnitude, but in there is minus a, as the distance is same as in magnitude, but this is the positive side of the x-axis and the parabola is on the negative side. So here the x is equals to minus a, and in this axis there is x is equals to positive a, and in y coordinates here is a 0. That in x-axis here is a positive a, and in y-axis the distance is equal, so the y coordinate of a point P is y, so in a similar way it will be y. Our distance between a point P, F, and a distance between which is equals to PA. So it will be x plus a square plus y minus 0 square with under root, as to apply the distance formula of PF, and which is equals to PA. It will be x minus a square and then plus y minus y square, and the whole term is in the under root. Now to solve it, it will be x plus a square plus y square with the under root sign, which is equals to x minus a square plus it will be a 0. So we can write it as x square plus a square plus 2ax. Basically we open the square of this factor and the y square is in a similar way, and the square is cancelled out with this radical sign, so we are left with x minus a. Now to get rid of this radical sign, we take a square on both sides. So if we taking a square, this radical sign can be removed and this will be the remaining terms, and here is x minus a square. So if I again open the square and rewrite the terms as in a similar way and open the square, it will be x square plus a square minus 2ax plus y square, which is equals to minus 2ax. So if we take this factor on other side, so y square minus 2ax minus 2ax. So finally we obtain a final equation of a parabola when our focus is on a negative side of the x-axis. First we discuss about that if the focus on a positive side of a y-axis means this is a x-axis and this is a y-axis. This is the positive side of x-axis and this is negative. So if we have a parabola just like is that thing, and here is our focus, and here is a line of our directrix line. Here is our point P having coordinates x and y. Then the distance is same as this distance. So if we said this is our point L, and in that case the working axis is y-axis. So if the distance is a, then here is our distance is also a, but the directrix is on the other side of the x-axis, as there is a origin having a coordinate 0, 0 is on other side. Then here y, which is equals to minus a. So we find the coordinates of these 2 points. So here in x-axis it will be 0 and in y-axis it will be a. So here is an important point that will be noted, and in that case it will be in x-axis here is a x and in y-axis it will be minus a. So we will find the distance between a point PF, which is equals to distance between PL. X minus 0 square plus y minus a square, and the term is in the under root. This is the distance between PF, which is equals to x minus x square plus y plus a square, and the whole term is in a vertical sign. Now it will be x square plus, if we open the square, it will be y square plus a square minus 2ay, and the whole term is in a vertical sign. And here this factor will be a 0 and we are left with this factor y plus a square and with this vertical sign. So this vertical sign can be a cancel out, so we are left with x square plus y square plus a square minus 2ay with this vertical sign, and it will be y plus a. And to get rid of this vertical sign, taking the squares on both sides, so this is simply we write this factor, and if we take a square, y square plus a square plus 2ay, so x square minus 2ay, which is equals to 2ay, then finally we get that 4ay, and this is the final equation, standard equation of a parabola when a focus on a positive side of a y-axis. First of all, draw a parabola that is open as a downward location, and if here is our focus point, then here is something our directrix line. So if we suppose that here is our point P, then this distance and this distance is equal, that there is a negative side of y-axis, so it will be a minus a. So the distance is minus a, but the distance is positive a, but is on the negative side of y-axis, so it will be 0 minus a. And as the point is that we finally into that having a coordinates x and y, this is the point T, and the point M, it will be x. And here is our negative, but the directrix is on the other side, means on a positive side. So if there is a y which is negative a, so the line, directrix line, it will be a positive a. So here is a. Now it is easy to find the equation. That is the equation of PM, which is equals to distance between PF. We apply our distance formula plus y minus a square with our vertical sign, which is equals to x minus 0 square plus y plus a square with this vertical sign. Now it will be a 0. We are left with this factor, which will be y minus a square with this vertical, and it will be x square plus y square plus a square plus 2ay with this radical sign. Now this square can be cancelled out, so we are left with this factor and x square plus y square plus a square plus 2ay with this radical sign. Now we are taking the squares on both sides, so I will just doing a direct step, that is 2ay, which is equals to these terms are in a similar way, minus 2ay, which is equals to x square plus 2ay. So in a final step, x square, which is equals to minus 4ay. If I have a x-axis and a y-axis, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis, and here is our origin point, which is 0, 0, and the vertex of this, and we have to plot a parabola. As what is a parabola? That the parabola is a set of all points which are equidistant from a fixed point, which is we called a focus, and a fixed line, which is called a directrix, is called a parabola, and this is parabola. This is a focus, and if this length is a, then I have a coordinate of a focus which is a0, and the distance between the vertex and focus is same as the distance between the vertex and this directrix line. So this directrix line is this, and as which is equals to minus a, as the magnitude is same but it is opposite to this axis. And we also discuss one more thing, that the line segment, it passes through a focus and parallel to this directrix line, or we say that the line which passes through a focus that is perpendicular to this axis, the major axis, and endpoints lie on a curve is called a lattice rectum. That if I draw this line over here, then this is called a lattice rectum. Length of the lattice rectum, which is 4a. So we have the endpoints of the lattice rectum, which are these 2 points of our lattice rectum. So if the length of this is a, then it will be 2a, and in a similar way the length of focus to this endpoint is also 2a. So we have our endpoint of the lattice rectum, which is a comma plus minus 2a, which is these 2 points, means here is a point which is a plus 2a, and in that side a, and second is minus 2a. So this is the endpoints of lattice rectum if the equation of a parabola, which is 4ax, or y square, which is equals to minus 4ax, and we have a endpoints of a lattice rectum if we have the equation of a parabola in a form of x square, which is equal to 4ay, or x square, which is equals to minus 4ay. That this is a short review of a parabola that we already discussed in a very detailed way in a previous video. Let us take first example, that the equation is given and plot a graph, and this equation shows that a vertex at origin. So we need to find a focus and we find the directrix. Then we are able to plot it on a graph. And to see this equation, the vertex of this, which is equals to origin, which is 0, 0. Standard equation of parabola, in that case, which we already derived in a previous lecture in a very detailed way. So which is that y square, which is equals to 4ax. If I say this equation is 1 and we say this equation is 2, then we are say that compare 1 and second equations. So what we get? We get which is equals to 4a, which is equals to a. Now we have to find the value of a, which is equals to a, which is equals to 2. And what is the focus that we already discussed is that a0. So the focus is to 0, and we discussed that what is the directrix and how to find it. So it will be x, which is equals to minus 2, and the vertex that we already find it as origin, which is 0, 0, and the axis y is equals to 0. And so now it's time to plot it. So here is the x-axis and here is a y-axis. So first we plot a focus on it. That here is a focus which is 2 into 0. So here is a point which is 2, 0, and the directrix, which is, if this is a which is equals to 2, then the directrix as to move to -2. So here is a line which is equals to x is equals to -2. Vertex which is 0, 0. As the equation, the given equation reveals the fact that the parabola open in on our right side, the value of a is positive. That the parabola opens towards the focus and away from this directrix line, means the parabola doesn't open in this side. So we need to find a points that we plot a graph on it. If we have the equation y is equals to 4ax, then the endpoints of a lattice rectum on a curve is a plus minus 2a. A which is equals to 2, then plus minus 2a which is equals to plus minus 2, and the a is 2 which is equals to plus minus 4. So we have these 2 points which are points as 2 plus 4 and the other point which is 2 minus 4. So here is a point 2, and if we take a point which is 4 is something here, and 2 minus 4 which is something here, and if I join these 2 points on it, then we will find a required parabola. Always remember one thing, that if this length is a, then this length will be 2a. In a similar way, the length of this is a double of a, means 2a. So if we draw a very accurate graph of a parabola, then we take a points, the given equation which is y square which is equals to 8x. So it's your choice that you put the value of x and get a value of y, or just put a value of y and get a value of x. So both ways are possible, but the convenient way that I will take this and y square divided by 8. It means that I put the value of y and I will get a value of x. So this is a y square, means if I will enter plus minus value, then it doesn't affect the value of x. If y is equals to plus minus 1 square divided by 8, so it will be 1 divided by 8, which is equals to 0.125. So here is 0.125. So if I will put a value which is plus minus 2, then x which is equals to plus minus 2 square, I put values in this term divided by 8. So it will be 4 divided by 8, and it is 1 divided by 2, which is equals to 0.5. So I will get 0.5, and I just put a larger value. So if I put plus minus 4, you will also put the value of plus minus 3 as well. So if I put this positive 2, so here is 2. Okay, so I will put a value which is 5, and I think this is enough points that I will take it. It will be a 3.1. So here is a point 3.1. The value of y is 1, then the value of x is something 0.125, means a point is something here, and in a similar way this is a point which is something here. And if the value of y which is positive 2, then it will be 0.5. 0.5 is something here, and here is a point of 2. So we get a second point. And if the value of y is negative 2, then it will be a 0.5, which is a point is here. And if I will take a plus minus 4, if the value of y is negative 4, then the value of x will be 2. So here is a point that we already find it. And lastly, we take a point which is positive 5, and here is a 3.1 something here. So here is a point which is on a parabola, And in a similar way, if I will take a negative 5 is here and 3.1 is something here, so here is a point. So in this way we will plot our y minus k square, which is equals to minus 4a and x minus h, where the vertex is h and k. But we already discussed that in the standard equations of a parabola, the vertex is at origins, means the value of k, and h in 0 means the vertex is at origin. Now we will discuss that what we do when the vertex is not at origin, means here is the value of h and k. We can write it as y minus 0 square, which is equals to minus 8 x minus 3. If we suppose this is our basic first equation, so what we suppose in our next step, that this equation is not look like as our standard equations of parabola. So our first step is to make this equation as a standard equation of a parabola. If I let that the term which is x dash, I suppose the value of x minus 3, and I suppose the other thing which is y dash, which is equals to y minus 0. And the first equation becomes, what the equation says, y dash square, which is equals to minus 8, and this x minus 3 will be x dash. This is my second equation. So if I compare second equation with this standard equation of a parabola, 4a which is equals to 8. So our aim is to calculate the value of a. So a which is equals to 2. If I find out the focus of this second equation, because I deal with this second equation, so the focus in that case, which is minus a0, minus 2 into 0. This is a focus of second equation, but my aim to calculate the focus of this first equation. So what I do for that case, as in the focus, this is x dash coordinate and this is y dash coordinate, and we suppose the values of x dash and y dash, means x dash which is equals to minus 2 and y dash which is equals to 0 in that particular coordinate of the focus. So we already suppose these two terms, so just put the value of x dash in this equation and y dash in this, minus 2 which is equals to x minus 3, or in a similar way, which is 0 which is equals to y minus 0. Then I find out the value of x, which is 1, and the value of y, which is equals to 0. So in this way I can find out the coordinates of x and y of the focus of this first equation is 1, 0 of first equation. So the vertex of this equation will be, because in that case the vertex is at origin, vertex of second equation. This is again x dash coordinate and this is y dash coordinate, but we are interested to find out the coordinate x and y. So it means that here the value of x dash is 0 and y dash is also 0. So in the next step we just put the values of x dash, y dash in these two equations. So if I put here, so the value of x dash is 0, which is equals to x minus 3, or the y dash which is equals to 0 and which is equals to y minus 0. So in this way we will calculate the value of x and value of y, which is a vertex of the first equation. So what I find here, the vertex which I denote by capital V, and the vertex having coordinates 3 into 0 of first equation. As we also check out, if we compare these two equations, the value of h is 3 and the value of k is 0. Find out the directrix of this second equation. So the directrix of this second equation, which is x dash, which is equals to positive 2, because this shows that the parabola opens to the left side. So the directrix is on the positive side of the x-axis, but this is the directrix of second equation, but we have to find the directrix of the first equation. Just put the value of x dash in this equation. The value of x dash is 2, and which is equals to x minus 3. So we find it, x which is equals to 2 plus 3 means x is equals to 5. Directrix which is x is equals to 5 of first equation means our first main equation that we have to require to find all of things. Now we have to plot it. So what is the vertex in that case, which is 3, 0, means in x coordinate the value is 3 and in y coordinate the value is 0, means here is something a vertex which is 3, 0. And what is the focus? Focus is here, which is 1, 0. Here is a focus point, and the directrix line is x is equals to 5, means something here is a directrix line which is x which is equals to 5. Now we have to plot it. So it shows that the parabola is open to the left side, because the parabola always open towards the focus and away this directrix line. We have to take some points and just to plot on it. So I will take a value of x and get a value of y. If I put the value of x is 1 in first equation, then what I get? Y square which is equals to minus 8, 1 minus 3. Then minus 8 minus 2 means it will be 16 y square. So the value of y is equals to plus minus 4. So if I put the value of minus 2 in first equation, it will be y square is equals to minus 8, minus 2 and minus 3. So after solving this, so it will be a 40, and the value of y which is plus minus 6.3 in this way. And if I put the value of minus 5 in first equation, so I will get the value of plus minus 8. So the value is 1, then the value of y is positive 4 and for a negative 4. And if I take a value which is minus 2, then I will get here 6.3, means here is something a point, and I will take here is something a point, and I will take the value minus 5, then I will get plus minus 8, means in x-axis the value is 5 and in y-axis the value is something here which is 8, and in a similar way I can find this point. So we find all of these points. So if I join it as, and I will get a parabola which is this. So this is a parabola of the equation which is y square which is equals to minus 8x minus 3.